I have already pulled all of the clothes and shoes that I need to pack for today's ship with me. Here are some of the cute little poly mailers that I'm going to use from Jaro Pack for my shipping today. Here is the beautiful IKEA bag from a viewer who sent this to me. I love it so much that everything's going to go in, and this is what's going to sit on my front porch tomorrow for package pickup. And then there's me, Becky, the most tiredest reseller there ever was. Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park. I am a part-time reseller on a variety of reselling platforms, and today, oh, my poly mailers are falling. Today I invite you to ship with me on a couple of those platforms. We're going to be talking about Poshmark and eBay. Thank you for keeping me company because I am so very tired. But to be honest with you, these are packages from over the span of like a few days, not just the weekend. So some of these are a little bit older. They really need to get out the door. Those are obviously Poshmark sales. eBay, I have 1 day shipping and handling. I got to turn those around, within a day. But I've just been so slammed at work. I actually am a high school choir teacher. That's my full-time job. It has been insanely busy, and I have not really been able to list very much or ship or just do the things that resellers are supposed to do. So right now we're going to get these orders out for tomorrow. We'll put them in that beautiful IKEA bag you saw from Kay, a wonderful viewer. Kay, if you're watching, thank you. And we will get those out on the porch for porch pickup tomorrow. So let's just jump right in. We are going to start with our eBay sales. This is the first item that I'm going to be shipping out. I did pick this up, I want to say at a pop-up consignment sale. It may have been somewhere else. It's a little bit wrinkly now because it's been sitting in its little inventory bag. It's like a little, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe this. Like, it's kind of like a sheath dress, but not really. But it's got like a very subtle, almost like a textured animal print, if you can see that. I should have known better than to pick this dress up. It's not that it's an ugly dress. It's not that it's flawed or anything like that. It's in perfectly great condition. The issue is that I should have thought about the fact that this dress was not going to photograph well. It's got kind of a weird shape. Like, I'm sure it's beautiful on, but it's got a weird shape when it's being hung on a hanger, which is how I take the majority of my pictures. And then like the textured, like, print that I just showed you, that would be really hard to see. There were just a lot of things about it that I should have known looking at it. This is not going to make for dynamic photos, which I do just think is harder to sell. And I don't know about you, but like, I think Zara stock photos are extremely hard to find as well, because Zara makes so many pieces, and trying to identify that one piece that you have, I find it to be difficult even with the help of Google Lens. So for all those reasons, I should have left it behind. I think it ended up selling on eBay for like maybe close to $20 or something like that. And I don't know, it sat around for quite some time. I don't know that the sale was like super worth it, but it did sell nonetheless, and it sold for about what Zara typically sells for me, around that like $20 mark. So this one is going out to somebody named Sergey? I'm not sure, but what I did was I already wrote out all my thank you cards. I have them alphabetized, so you guys don't have to sit here and watch me write, "Dear Sergey, thank you, love Becky," or whatever it is. So you're welcome. I saved you that little extra step. And then the next thing we're going to do, I'll show you really quick. I'll pop you down here, is we're going to weigh this to see how much it weighs with the poly mailer and with the thank you card, because that's how eBay is going to see it once it gets weighed by USPS. They're going to obviously see the weight of this entire package when they weigh it, and so you can't just go off of the weight of the item by itself. You got to add in all of the things that are going into your package. So as you can see, I have this little scale here. This is an Accutech shipping scale. It's pretty small, and also you can like plug it in the way that I have it plugged in, or you can just kind of move it around with you wherever you are. I take it over to this other table in this space when I am photographing, so I can get weights, right at the beginning of creating a listing. So all I'm going to do is pop this guy on here. As you can see, this is 9.5 ounces. I'm going to call it 10, and I'm going to enter that into eBay. I will link this scale for you. I use it literally every day. Like I said, I use it when I first get items home and I'm processing new inventory. What I'll do is, before I even photograph stuff, as soon as I get home from the thrift store or wherever it is that I was sourcing, I will create a listing in List Perfectly with a short listing title just so I can put a listing to the item. I will put the weight of that item, and I will put where I got the item, the date that I got the item. I put that all kind of like in the notes section, and then I also put in my cost of goods. So then when I'm ready to take pictures of those items, usually after I've like filmed a haul or something like that, after I've taken pictures of the item, then I will put those pictures in the listing that I had already started on List Perfectly. And when I'm ready to list those listings after the pictures go in, I already have the weight in there, which is great. That's why I started weighing everything right when I take pictures. So I'll take the pictures, put it in like its little Ziploc bag. So I think I've shown you guys this before, but like I just reuse Ziploc bags over and over again. And you can see back here, I've got these bins with numbers on them. So over here is a bin 76 through 100. That's where one of the items was living. And as soon as I ship that item out, I will go ahead and reuse this bag and something else will become 77. So that's the number that I will put as my SKU. I will put that in List Perfectly as well. Right after I photograph the item will go in here, and then I will put the item and this bag on that scale, and I'll get an idea of how much it weighs. And I usually add like another ounce, because by the time I add my thank you card and all of that, it comes out to be about an extra couple ounces, and that's how I know how to price shipping, especially for platforms like eBay. That is definitely one of the ways that I feel like I have streamlined my listing process, is to kind of front load a lot of that work ahead of time, so that when it comes to getting the item from my bins, when it comes to shipping the item, I don't have to sit there and do a lot of extra guesswork or anything like that. I already have the information that I need. So this is going out to Sergey, and we said, look at that, I did all that talking, so I forgot how much it weighs. So what I'm going to do now is over on my laptop, I am going to put in the weight for this sale, which we said is 10 ounces. And I think that that's what I already have in there. It's just kind of making sure. Yes, I already have 10 ounces in there from when I weighed it right after photographing the item. And it's going to ship out USPS ground, and that's going to cost $5.17. I had the buyer pay $6 for shipping, so, you know, it's a little extra that they paid, but basically I think of it as them paying for the cost of like the poly mailer and the thank you card and just like the little plastic bag that the item goes into, my time. So there are some items that I will charge a little bit more for on shipping, and then other items that they end up costing more to ship than I had, you know, charged, and so it all ends up balancing out in the end. But I have one more eBay sale to ship out, so I very messily wrote Sergey on this poly mailer. I'm going to put that off to the side, and I'm going to get the second eBay sale, and then after I get that one packaged up, then it will print out both of those labels at the same time. That's what we call buying labels in bulk on eBay, and it's just nice because you can plug in all of your information for all of the items that you're shipping out on eBay, and then it'll just start printing out all of the shipping labels at once instead of you having to do it one at a time. So it's very nice. So this next one, this is, I don't know. I don't know why I got this. I got this at a local consignment store. It's the brand Gilly Hicks, which, correct me if I'm wrong, are they related to Hollister? And is it an Australian brand? I don't know. Am I making all of this up? I feel like I have a vague memory of these being factual information, but maybe I am just a ridiculous human being. I don't know. But I got this at a consignment store during one of their birthday sales. I mean, I don't think I had a lot into it, but I did not need this in my life. I think it sold though, like maybe around $20, maybe a little bit more than. I believe I sent out offers to watchers on eBay and someone bit. So that was, I mean, that was great. It's like I probably had this for a few months, so it hasn't been a super long amount of time, but it's still, you know, longer than it needs to be. And just an item that I didn't really need to have in my inventory. But this is going to go out in an eBay poly mailer. I just get these basically for free from eBay, because if you have an eBay store, you can use a quarterly coupon once a quarter to buy things like shipping supplies, whether it's poly mailers or eBay tape. You can buy eBay boxes. You can buy eBay tissue paper. There's lots of things that you can buy. I usually kind of go back and forth between the tape and these poly mailers. They're nice to have. So this is going out to Michelle. So we're going to look in my stack of thank you cards. We're going to look for Michelle. We're going to stick this in there. There it is. And now that both of these are done, well, let me weigh this first. I have this down as weighing 11 pounds. Let's see if I was correct the first time. And I believe, like, there is a price change from 11 to 12 ounces. Let's see. Did I say 11 pounds? I meant 11 ounces, obviously. All right. Here's a moment of truth. This weighs... Oh, what the... This weighs 10 pounds. Okay, we did good. So I'm actually going to change the weight to, say, 10 pounds instead of 11. I must have overshot when I put in the weight initially. I keep saying pounds. It's 10 ounces. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so 10 ounces. This is going to cost $4.88 to ship out, which might seem weird because this item that's going out to Sergey also weighed a little under 10 ounces. So they both weigh the exact same amount, and yet this costs $5.17 to ship out and this costs $4.88. They're also the same size. The reason for that is because Sergey's package is going all the way to California. I live in Illinois, so California is way out there on the West Coast. And this one is going to Pennsylvania, which is definitely like more towards the East Coast, but not as far of a travel as from here to California. And that's what you need to know about shipping on eBay. The amount that they're going to charge you when it comes to shipping boils down to three things. It is how far the item has to travel, how big the item is, so how much like space does it take up? Is it like a big thing that goes in a big box? And then finally, how much that item weighs. And so, you know, you might think to yourself, okay, but these are the same thing. They should, you know, be the same amount to ship out, but because one is traveling a slightly farther distance, I have to pay a little bit more for shipping on this one. Fun little eBay lesson for y'all. So now I'm going to hit review purchase on here, and I'm going to purchase both of those with the click of just a couple buttons here, and then you're going to hear them shooting out of my Dymo label. So I've shown you a couple things so far that I use whenever I ship, my Accutech shipping scale and my Dymo label printer. Let's watch it do its job. Oh my gosh, and you're going to see how disgustingly messy my desk is. Okay, ready? So I will have both of those items listed for you down below in the description. And always, if you look in my YouTube videos towards the bottom, there is a list of things that I've purchased on Amazon that I use every single day for my reselling business or even for YouTube. And if you ever purchase anything from Amazon using those links, Amazon gives me like the tiniest of kickbacks. So you absolutely do not have to use those links. But if you do, you are throwing a few cents my way. And I'm eternally grateful every single time that you guys do make purchases using those Amazon links down below. You could even like just click on the Amazon link and then do your regular Amazon shopping that you were planning on doing. You can buy your lima beans and your face creams and your new winter boots and just, you know, click on one of those links to get to Amazon, and I'll still get a little bit of a kickback. It's kind of a crazy and very small, easy way to support your favorite content creator. So just wanted to throw that out there. All right, so now we're gonna get these labels and we're gonna slap them on the bag. So Michelle's, I didn't write her name on the bag because it was just the second one. So this is going to go in my beautiful IKEA bag. And then Sergey's, or Sergi, I don't know how to say this name. If you are watching and if I am mispronouncing your name, I am so sorry. But this is going to go in the bag as well. And now we're going to do our Poshmark sales. So this dress is actually so similar to that Zara one. Look at it. It's another green dress with like a textured animal print on it. But this one I knew would photograph so much better. The shape of it is just much more defined with like the waist. And then, I don't know, it just, you know, it's got like these big balloon sleeves. This one I knew would photograph a lot better. Plus there was a beautiful stock photo that I was able to find. This just sold today. I think it was my only sale of the day. And no, I think the Gilly Hicks one sold today too. But this one sold for like $42, which I was kind of surprised by. And other stories, I'm trying to remember. I feel like they have an okay, I don't want to make it up. They have an affiliation with another brand, and that other brand is like kind of whatever. I've sold maybe one or two other and other stories pieces before. I believe that the brand is based out of Britain, but my most memorable experience with this brand is that I once sold a dress that, oh my god, what is her name? I want to say Kate Winslet, but it's not Kate Winslet. It's, you guys, I feel like I am suffering from like brain damage. Like I just can't remember things. Prince William's wife, isn't her name Kate? I'm gonna look it up right now. I promise you I know about the world and what's happening in the world. Okay. Princess Kate? Yes, that's her name. What is her last name? That's what I just like can't remember. Middleton. Kate Middleton. My God. You guys, there's something wrong with my brain. But I had found this dress. It was like at a Plato's Closet. It was during their like 90% off sale or something. And it was a dress by And Other Stories. And it was beautiful. And I got it home. I took pictures of it. I think I used Google Lens and was shocked out of my mind to find that Kate Middleton had worn that same dress to some event. And so it was being sold for like over $100, even though retail, it was probably close to like $100, definitely not way over $100. And I made a pretty penny on that dress, I remember. This one was worn by nobody famous, but I still made $42 on it, which is great. So this one we're going to send out in one of my favorite Giro Pack poly mailers. It's just like a bright little floral bag. I, now that it's officially fall, am wanting to get some fall poly mailers, and I'm hoping that Giro Pack comes out with some great little fall poly mailers because I think that would be really fun. This is going out to Hillary, so I'm going to find the thank you card that I already made, throw it in the bag, seal it up, put the label on, because I already printed the Poshmark labels. Poshmark, you can also print labels in bulk. There is a way to do that. That's kind of one of their like newer-ish features that probably came out, I don't know, like 2-3 years ago. And that was a big deal because it meant you didn't have to go into each sold listing and open up your shipping label individually. You could now kind of click one button and get all your shipping labels to print out at once. And that was a game changer. That was wonderful when they came out with that. So I stuck the label on. It's right there. I don't want you to see, you know, this person's address and stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and get this in the bag. Next up, I don't know, like when I first found this brand many years ago, it was great. Resale value was great. Resale value has definitely gone down quite a bit since then. The brand is Universal Standard. And not only has the brand resale value gone down, but once I got this home from, I think it was I don't know where I got it, but I realized as I was photographing it that there was so much, what is this called? You guys, I can't remember words. So much pilling. That is the word I was looking for. Pilling in between the legs from this person's thighs, kind of like rubbing against each other as they walked. That is a spot you should always check in denim. So obviously I took pictures of that and I put information in the listing description. I think I even put the word flawed in the listing title itself just to like make sure that it was super clear. And this person still bought these for, I think it was like $17 or $18. But yeah, I mean, I would not have purchased these if I had noticed that flaw to begin with, but I just didn't look them over as carefully as I should have. But this one I will go ahead and ship out in a cute little Giro Pack poly mailer as well. By the way, I do have a coupon code, or it's like, yeah, I think it's a coupon code. I have a little code, whatever kind of code it is, down in the description below for Giro Pack. I've been using their poly mailers and also their padded poly mailers. I'll show you one of those in a second. I've been using these for quite some time and they just are really great quality, which is why I like them. And they're not like, it's not like there's extra bulk for the quality. Sometimes that happens where, you know, a poly mailer company is like, we have great quality poly mailers, like they are indestructible, but then they each weigh like 8 pounds and you're like, yeah, well, duh, like this is made out of titanium. But these are really lightweight, but also pretty indestructible. I don't know. So this pair of jeans is going out to Christy. So I'm going to stick that in the poly mailer, and I'm going to put her label on here. Yeah, I'll be kind of sad to stop using these once I get more kind of like autumn appropriate poly mailers, but it'll be really fun like seeing these again in the spring. I feel like they're perfect for spring and summer. So Christy's label is on, and into the beautiful IKEA bag it goes. Next up, oh, I just got to stop picking up this brand. Also, this is just like an older style, like I recognize that. This is a dress by the brand Adriana Papel. And it's like a fine dress. It's just, I don't know, it's not very modern or current. Not that it's like vintage or super old or anything. It's just not like trendy. It's not really what like everyone is looking for. So of course it sat for quite some time. But it did finally sell, I believe, for $25. And if I remember correctly, I don't think that I had too much into it. As I'm putting it into the plastic bag, it feels kind of like that scuba knit material. By the way, these little baggies I have linked down below as well. They're just really great for adding a little bit of extra protection to garments in case like something does happen to the poly mailer or box that you put it in. And this one I am actually going to put, I think, in a USPS box. Things that are this size I do like to put in, which one is this? Oh, no, this is too small. Things that are about this size when they get folded down, I like to put in these. What is this? This is one of the priority mail boxes from USPS. The boxes have names, and I'm trying to find the name. Okay, so this is the 1096L. But I like this one. Sometimes you can even get jeans in here, but they're great for like, yeah, dresses that aren't like too big. They're great for a lot of like shirts. Things like that. There's a smaller buildable box like this from USPS that I use for things like t-shirts or just really small things, but this is good for a lot of like the slightly larger things. And it's nice because it's free. You can actually even order them on the USPS website and they'll get shipped directly to your home for absolutely free. You don't even have to pay for delivery. But this is going out to Cindy. So we're going to find Cindy's card. I'm going to go ahead and stick it right in here. And then you can see like it's so easy to build out. You just kind of like push down all the things. You just have to remove the liner. And then once you do, there is a part here that is super sticky. You can kind of see where it's like all glossy, and then you just push it down and your box is all secure. This is great for especially if you're just starting out on a platform like Poshmark. Poshmark just makes it so easy because you can use priority mail boxes, you can use flat rate boxes, you can use regional boxes, and if you're getting boxes like this for free from Amazon, then you don't even need to purchase things like packing tape. It just makes it really simple to get your shipping done. All I have to do now is slap my label on. This is going out to Cindy, so I'm going to find her label. I'm going to slap it on. And just because I'm a little bit extra, I am going to reinforce this side with like the sticky adhesive strip. I'm going to just do one little tape strip just to make sure that this doesn't open up while it's in transit. Yeah, I'd rather be safe than sorry, but this is definitely not a step you have to do because the idea is that that adhesive strip is strong enough to really make it all the way to its final destination without you having to, you know, reinforce it the way that I just did. I don't always do this, but I don't know, I just felt like it. So there you go. So this is done. It's going to go in the bag. This is a pair of pants. I don't want to take it out of here because it already looks so nice in here. But this is a pair of pants by the brand Sweet Baby Jamie, and I had never heard of this brand. I actually purchased this on Whatnot, and I'll talk more about this sale and like who I got it from and just kind of the story behind it. Definitely subscribe to my channel because every once in a while I'll do these ship with me videos, but my kind of staple video that I do every single week is a what sold video, and you'll hear me talk about these pants in an upcoming what sold video. So definitely subscribe to hear more about these, but it's a great brand. These pants sold for $80 and they're just like trousers with like a plaid print, so that was really exciting. These are going out to Tatiana. yeah, I feel like someone named Tatiana would be the one to get these pants. That tracks for me. Like, Tatiana is a cool name, and you have to be cool to pull off these pants. So these I might be able to put in the small box. So this is that smaller box I was telling you about. This one, also free from USPS. You can just order it right on their site. This is the small flat rate box, as you can see. So this is one that like is basically good for nothing almost when it comes to eBay, because you have to pay a pretty good amount to use this box to ship anything out in, and typically anything that fits in here you can probably get out using ground shipping or even priority mail shipping. It's probably cheaper that way, but for Poshmark, it's great for smaller items. However, like I said, I feel like this is actually too big. Also, I just noticed that this bag that this is in has a rip in it, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it in a different bag. So we'll get this transferred over. Yeah, these are very well constructed pants. Seal. We'll get these in a little bit better of a plastic bag. We'll do the little liner, and we'll go ahead and stick this in a cute little poly mailer as well. Okay, so I already said this is going to Tatiana. And the wonderful thing about Poshmark is, unless you're afraid that your package is going to weigh over 5 pounds, you don't need to weigh it. So that is a nice little step that you get to kind of take out of the equation when it comes to shipping on Poshmark. Definitely saves some time. And I think that's why people kind of flock to Poshmark, is the ease of shipping. But it's really funny because people who start on eBay, I hear so many of them say, but I'm so scared of Poshmark. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you can eat Poshmark for breakfast. You sell on eBay. Poshmark is so easy compared to that. But it's the sharing aspect, I think, that freaks them out. Like, they are so used to just being able to list things on eBay, and then you just kind of wait for people to buy your stuff. Poshmark, you gotta share, and you gotta do all these things, and I get it. I get why they're scared. This is the last clothing item, and then we've got a few pairs of shoes. So this is a new pair of 511 tactical pants. I had purchased 2 of these at a local consignment store's birthday sale, and this is the second pair. So they have both sold, and they both sold for pretty great money. I want to say that this pair sold for, maybe it was $50, something like that. This is a style of clothing, you know, tactical clothing worn by, you know, people like police officers and things like that. So yeah, I thought these did pretty well. I actually do think that I got kind of a low ball offer on this, but I kept countering with them, and we landed somewhere that we were both comfortable. So, you know, I have gotten a little bit more trigger happy with the decline button both on eBay and Poshmark as of late. I think that's when I'm like, okay, this person's just not even serious about buying this at a reasonable price. And at that point, I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm just going to decline. But I always like to start with a counter. So if someone, you know, sends me an offer, even if it's insultingly low, I will send them a counter, and then how they respond is usually what will tell me if they're just wasting my time. They sent me a pretty low offer, but then when I started countering with them, I could tell, okay, I think they're willing to be reasonable. Let's just see what happens. And then that's how we landed where we did. I don't remember off the top of my head, though, how much this person paid for these. So I am putting this, sorry, I'm trying to get the thank you card to go in nicely. Okay, I'm putting these in this first box that I showed you. It's kind of a tight squeeze, so I am for sure going to reinforce this one with tape as well, just because I don't want the adhesive to give as it's in transit. Kind of like when you eat too much and your pants just unbutton by themselves. That's kind of the feeling that I think this box is going to feel. So we're going to put a belt on it. Here's your belt. All right. So all we got to do is stick the label on. This is going out to John. And then, oh my gosh. I'm trying to think if this is the person that ordered the first pair of tactical pants. I'm going to go back and look. That would be crazy, but I feel like I remember the first pair going to John too. We'll see. All right, so I sold 3 pairs of shoes, and the first pair that sold were these pair of UGG Betty like slip-on moccasin type shoes. I don't remember off the top of my head how much they sold for. I don't remember a lot about these. I kind of want to say that I think I found these at a Goodwill in a town about an hour and a half away. They were just kind of sitting on top of like a coffee table that was at the Goodwill. So it kind of made me feel like someone was thinking about purchasing them and then changed their mind and just put them, you know, on this coffee table and walked off, which was fine because their loss is my gain. So I've had these for a while though. It's definitely been probably like half a year at this point. But I'm not surprised that they're selling now because this is definitely the kind of shoe you're looking for in like the fall and winter, you know? So these are going out to Amanda. So for shoes like these, I wouldn't put these in a poly mailer just because I feel like it needs a little bit more protection. I'm going to build out a box. It's the USPS shoe box, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so this box, you just kind of fold it into this rectangle shape, and it's great for most shoes. It's also a really good box if you sell a bundle on Poshmark and you've got like 2 or 3 items. This is a great box for bundles, but it's literally called the shoe box, as you can see. And you can see the dimensions right there. Another reason I love these kinds of priority mail boxes from USPS is because if you use it for eBay shipping, you don't have to take out your tape measurer when you go to put the dimensions into eBay because they're already on the box. So again, it just kind of eliminates one of the steps that you have to take when it comes to shipping on eBay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just stick these in. The thank you card, this is going out to Amanda. I'm going to get like one of those air pocket bubble things to put on top just in case the shoes like move around a lot in transit. I don't think this step is like super necessary, which is why I'm rolling my eyes, but anything that makes the buyer feel like you really took care and attention in packaging their item is not a bad thing. So the purpose of those air bubble pockets is so that the shoes can't move around very much. And what you hear moving in there is the thank you card, and that's fine if that's moving around. So I'm going to stick my label on and get this in our IKEA bag. Speaking of IKEA, my husband's district and my husband, where he teaches, that's where my kids go. They actually go to the school that he teaches at, which is wonderful. They don't have school tomorrow. I have school tomorrow. They have the day off because of Yom Kippur, but my district does not observe that holiday, and so I have to go to work. But my friend Chiwon, who I have talked a lot about on this channel because she's the best, they are going to IKEA tomorrow, and I'm kind of jealous because I love IKEA. All right, next up is this beautiful pair of Fry boots. Like, oh my gosh, they're so good. I got these while I was in Peoria with my choir, just like, oh, maybe those UGG boots. I think it was that same trip. So I need a big old bag for this. Hold on. I'm going to put those in this bag. This is like a nice long bag. I got these for $7.99, and another pair of Fry boots also for $7.99 that I think whoever was pricing that day just didn't know what they had, but I got them because I happened to be there when they wheeled out a cart of brand new inventory, and there were just 2 pairs of Fry boots right on that bottom little bin of the cart, so I snatched them up. I practically sprinted over to that cart, and I'm happy that I did because I got these beauties. Okay, I don't love the way that the boots look in here, because look, this is kind of like, okay, let me redo this because I don't want them sitting in the bag like that for a couple days while they're in transit. So what I'm going to do is, instead of putting both of the boots like side by side, I'll show you. Let me do it and then I'll show you. I think this is going to be better. Okay. And then I'll show you what box I'm going to use for these. And I'm very thankful that these sold on Poshmark because otherwise I'd have to find a different box and that would be really hard to do. So what I did was I put it in so that this heel is on that side and then this heel is over here. So that way there's a little bit more room and now they're not really bent, which is great. So what I'm gonna do, let me get all this excess air out. I'm gonna go get the perfect box for this. This is again a box that I think most people just don't use very often. It is a large flat rate box, but because you can use flat rate boxes on Poshmark, it is the perfect box to use for long things like boots. Like those are gonna go so nicely in here. This is meant for like if you're shipping out board games, things like that. You can see like how big and long this box is. You don't get a lot of boxes with these dimensions when you get things shipped to you from Amazon, because obviously rather than using USPS boxes, you can also just use whatever boxes you have laying around the house. The issue is finding a box that's large enough or long enough to house those boots. If I didn't have this box that I have in my hand right now, this large flat rate box, I would probably have to like tape a few boxes together to get one to be the length that I would need for those boots. But again, it's the kind of situation where they have the adhesive strap, so you just kind of put the box together yourself. I'm definitely going to reinforce both sides of this box just because these boots are pretty heavy. But look how perfectly this is going to go in here. And there's room to spare. So, oh, that's a lifesaver. And I'm gonna do the same thing that I did for the other pair of shoes. I am gonna put some of the air pockets in here. You know, having all these USPS boxes in different sizes, it's great. This is going out to Kathy. It's great. The annoying part is storing it all. Storing it all in your house, because these come in packs of, I think you can do packs of like 10, but I usually get them in like packs of 50 to 100, because if I'm going to make USPS come out to my house and bring a bunch of stuff, I want to make it worth their trip, you know. So I have a lot of these empty boxes, and obviously they're flat, but they still take up a lot of space. So that is one thing to consider if you're looking to scale your reselling business. It's not just scaling the amount of space that you need for inventory, but also for shipping supplies. There we go. And that way this is going to stay nice and intact while in transit. This I said is going out to Kathy. I'm gonna stick the label on there, and then we're gonna be on our very last item. Thanks again for hanging out with me today. If you guys have enjoyed this, if you've learned anything about shipping on eBay or on Poshmark, please go ahead and hit that like button. This is the last sale. It's a pair of like exercise or athletic shoes. I'm just lacing up this one pair because they became untied. Ooh, these laces are nice. These laces have like stretch to them, which I'm not used to. I don't remember where I got these or when I got them, but they're these New Balance, like Vongo, that was the style name, I don't know. Sorry, I got very thirsty and I was like coughing. I've also been using my voice a lot lately. I've been doing a lot of singing and just a lot of yelling. Not bad yelling, like cheering, I should say. So my voice is very tired. These I have to put in a slightly bigger plastic bag. I have these linked down below as well. So now, you know, these fit nice and snugly in. Yeah, I don't know. I know some resellers commit to just like, I'm only going to get these 2 different kinds of USPS boxes. I just like having the different sizes because, you know, I like to have kind of like the smallest box possible for each item so that it's not moving around so much. And I think because I sell clothes, they're gonna be in different sizes. Like sweaters are very different from shoes, and shoes are very different from t-shirts, and t-shirts are very different from bras, you know. So I don't know, it's like I like to have a variety of different things that I can use to ship my items out in. But for those shoes, I'm gonna go ahead and use another USPS shoebox because they are very aptly named and fit things like pairs of shoes very, very well. Now, unfortunately, this one you do have to use your own tape for because they don't have those little adhesive straps. I used to have, oh my gosh, why am I closing up the other end when I haven't even put the shoes in? Okay, hold on. I used to have a bunch of these built out already, which was really nice because then I didn't have to take the time when I was shipping every night to build these boxes out the way that I am right now. But when they're built out like this, they take up a lot of space, so I stopped doing it. Again, I'm going to put some of these in here. I just save these every time I get an Amazon delivery because Amazon puts in a bajillion of these in all of their packages. And we do get stuff delivered from Amazon a lot, so everyone in my family knows anything that looks like that. Even like the bubble mailers from Amazon, we save all of those. We save any of like the craft paper that will sometimes come in packages. Anything that looks like I could reuse it for shipping, we save. So I have like a big box and I just put all of those little air pocket things in there, and I save them for occasions like this when I sell things like shoes, or I did not put my thank you card for Carrie in here. So we're going to open up one side. We'll open up this side and we're going to stick the card in there. And I know it's not a huge deal. And I've heard from some people say things like, you do not need to write thank you cards. You don't need to do X, Y, and Z. But I have actually gotten so much feedback on eBay and even in love notes on Poshmark of people commenting on the fact that I took the time to write a thank you card and, you know, have a thank you card for them. It's a nice touch that definitely does not go unnoticed. Okay, so I'm going to just like do a lot more tape on this side because clearly I undid that. Okay, I just taped the crap out of this side. So now it's going to be really annoying for them to try to open if they try to open it on that side. But better to be safe and overpackage than to underpackage and have the box fall apart while in transit. So let's take a look at my IKEA bag. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like with all of my packages in it, and all I have to do is put it on my porch. I have the USPS app, and every time I want to request a porch pickup, I will just use that app and I will let them know that I've got some packages ready for them. It's so simple. And I know that this isn't a resource that is available to everyone. I know some of you say like you cannot leave packages on your porch because they will get stolen, or because you live maybe somewhere where like you don't have your own mailbox, but everyone's mail goes to like a central location with like locks, and you know there's like a bunch of mailboxes in one area. Our neighborhood doesn't have like an HOA or anything. Like we have our own mailboxes, and we can set up a for real porch pickup, and the policeman and the post person will just come right up to the porch, grab it. He'll usually take the whole IKEA bag, carry it to his truck, and then come back to the porch and drop off the IKEA bag. In the past, when we lived at our old house, the USPS drivers would take the whole bag and like take it overnight, but then they'd bring it back the next day. They would like fold it up nicely and put it in our mailbox, which I thought was really funny. So it's just kind of funny how everyone has their own system, but the people in this neighborhood, they literally take the bag to their truck, unload it, and then bring the bag back. So that's really nice. I don't really care what they do. You know, I don't have a preference, but people just do what works for them. So that is everything that I got shipped out today. I'm not even going to check if anything else sold. If it did, I will ship it out tomorrow because I'm so tired and I have to go to work tomorrow, even though the rest of my family doesn't need to. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Thank you for hanging out with me, for making me get my shipping done. And if you want to see more Ship With Me videos, I do have a playlist right here. Again, not a ton of videos in there because I don't do this very often. But if you enjoyed hanging out with me while I shipped, you can do it again. Just check out that playlist. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!